The storm had passed. The world was new again, fresh, clean. Noah stood at the ark's door, staring at the vast empty land below. He had seen the old world drown, and now he was the first to step into the new one. The weight of it all pressed on his chest. This wasn't just about survival. It was about starting over.
We made it. But what now?
That's the question, isn't it? We talk about Noah's Ark like it's just about the flood. But that was only half the story. Because when the rain stopped, the real journey began. But before we go forward, let's go back. Way back. To a time when the earth was on the brink of destruction, and only one man stood between life and death. This was the world before the flood, a world of chaos. Violence ruled the streets. People had turned away from their creator. No one cared about justice. No one cared about kindness. And worst of all, no one listened to the warnings. Noah wasn't just some random guy. He was a man of faith, living in a world that had forgotten what it meant to be good. The Bible says, Noah was a righteous man, blameless among the people of his time, and he walked faithfully with God. Genesis 6:9. But then, well, let's just say the world around him wasn't exactly following his example. Noah was one man who still walked with God. And one night, he heard something that would change everything. Noah heard something big. God told him, I am going to put an end to all people, for the earth is filled with violence because of them. I am surely going to destroy both them and the earth. So make yourself an ark of cypress wood, make rooms in it, and coat it with pitch inside and out. Genesis 6:13-14. Can you imagine hearing that? Noah's heart must have sunk. He wasn't just scared, he was heartbroken. These were his neighbors, his friends, maybe even family. But God had a plan for Noah. A really, really big plan. Imagine being told the world is ending. Not in some distant future, but soon. And you are responsible for saving life itself. Would you believe it? Would you listen?
An ark? But where's the water? Father, this is madness.
And that's where faith comes in. Because Noah didn't see the rain. He didn't hear the thunder. But he obeyed. Because sometimes faith is believing in what you can't see. Yet, God told Noah to build an ark. Not a little boat, mind you. A massive 3-story floating zoo. And here's the kicker. It hadn't even rained yet. Like, ever. People probably thought Noah was crazy. Hey Noah, what's with the boat? You know we're miles from the ocean, right? But Noah didn't care. He trusted God. And so, he got to work. Can you picture it? The sweat dripping down Noah's face, the blisters on his hands, the ache in his back. And his family. Oh, his family. They were right there with him, working tirelessly. They must have been thinking, is this really happening? Are we really doing this? But they didn't stop. Day after day, year after year, they kept building. And then, it was finished. For years, Noah and his sons built the ark. People laughed. They mocked. What flood? What rain? You're crazy, old man. But Noah didn't stop. Because when God speaks, you move.
Turn from your wickedness. A flood is coming. But you can be saved.
Now, here's the part that gets me. God told Noah, go into the ark, you and your whole family, because I have found you righteous in this generation. Genesis 7:1. But then, the animals came. Not just a few, hundreds, thousands. Lions, giraffes, birds, bugs, you name it. The sound must have been deafening. Roars, chirps, squawks, and the pounding of hooves. Noah's heart was probably racing. How are we going to fit them all? How are we going to feed them? What if they don't get along? But they came, and they fit, just like God said they would. And then, the rain started. Not a drizzle, not a shower, a downpour. The kind of rain that makes you wonder if the sky is falling. The Bible says, on that day, all the springs of the great deep burst forth, and the floodgates of the heavens were opened. Genesis 7:11. Can you imagine the sound? The pounding of rain, the creaking of the ark, the cries of people outside realizing too late that Noah wasn't so crazy after all. Noah's family must have been terrified. The ark was rocking, the animals were restless, and the world they knew was disappearing. But they held on. They held on to each other, and they held on to God's promise. And for 40 days and 40 nights, the rain didn't stop. After the rain stopped, the waiting began. A whole year on that ark. A year of feeding animals, cleaning up after them, and wondering if they'd ever see dry land again. But then, one day, Noah sent out a dove, and it came back with an olive leaf. Hope, real, tangible hope. And finally, the ark rested on dry ground. Noah stepped out, and God made a promise, a covenant. I establish my covenant with you. Never again will all life be destroyed by the waters of a flood. Never again will there be a flood to destroy the earth. Genesis 9:11. And as a sign of that promise, God placed a rainbow in the sky.
Never again. This is my promise to you, to all life.
So, yeah, that's the story of Noah's Ark. It's not just about a boat or a flood. It's about faith, obedience, and second chances. It's about trusting God even when the world thinks you're crazy. And it's about remembering that, no matter how dark the storm, there's always a rainbow waiting on the other side. Thanks for listening, friend. Remember, no matter what you're going through, you're never alone. God's got you. If you have enjoyed this video and you want to watch more amazing Bible stories, feel free to click on the story shown to you on the screen now. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to be amongst the first to watch the next Bible story. And once again, stay blessed.